Welcome to your Health Facts podcast. Today, we're going to be looking at the complexities of fluoride. It's a topic that is often, shrouded in controversy. So while dental health initiatives emphasize the importance of fluoride for cavity prevention, a deeper look reveals some potential concerns, particularly regarding its impact beyond oral health. So let's take a closer look at some of the different perspectives surrounding this widely debated additive. Governmental and private institutions often present contrasting views on the safety and benefits of water fluoridation. The National Toxicology Program, a well-respected government institution, has conducted research that indicates a correlation between high fluoride levels in children and lower IQ scores. Conversely, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention maintains that water fluoridation poses no adverse health effects, well, except for the possibility of dental fluorosis. Private organizations like the American Dental Association and the American Academy of Pediatrics, however, advocate for fluoridation, emphasizing its role in improving dental health. So you can see already how kind of muddled the waters get. Switzerland, renowned for its exceptional water quality and the longevity of its citizens, stands out for its unique approach to fluoride. Unlike many countries, Switzerland does not add fluoride to its water supply. Testing of both bottled and tap water in Switzerland consistently reveals the absence of fluoride. It just kind of makes you wonder, what their perspective is on this. Examining historical data reveals an interesting correlation between the Industrial Revolution and the rise in cavities. The introduction of refined grains and processed foods during this era coincided with a significant increase in tooth decay. This observation suggests a potential link between these dietary changes and oral health, which raises questions about the root causes of cavities and the potential limitations of solely relying on fluoride for prevention.
Filtering fluoride from water presents a unique challenge due to its chemical nature. Fluoride exists as an anion, a negatively charged ion, which makes it difficult to remove using conventional filtration methods. Most water filters are actually designed to target positively charged contaminants, so this requires specialized technology to effectively remove fluoride. Interestingly, even common refrigerator filters often fail to adequately address this pervasive element. Now, understanding the history of cavities provides valuable insights into the evolution of oral health. The prevalence of cavities can actually be traced back to the Industrial Revolution, a period marked by significant dietary shifts. The increased consumption of refined grains and processed foods, which are softer in texture and lack the abrasive qualities of natural foods, contributed to reduced plaque removal during chewing. Essentially, it created an environment conducive to tooth decay. This historical perspective underscores the connection between dietary choices and oral health. Now, the formation of cavities involves a complex interplay of bacteria, sugar, and acid. Bacteria residing in our mouths thrive on sugars and starches present in the foods that we consume. As these bacteria ferment these carbohydrates, they produce acid as a byproduct. This acid then attacks tooth enamel, gradually weakening its structure and ultimately leading to the formation of cavities. Sugar-sweetened beverages essentially bathe teeth in sugar, which exacerbates this process by providing a constant fuel source for acid-producing bacteria. Maintaining a healthy oral microbiome is crucial for overall well-being. The oral microbiome, much like the gut microbiome, consists of a diverse community of bacteria, both beneficial and harmful. A balanced oral microbiome plays a critical role in preventing cavities and promoting systemic health. But disruptions to this delicate balance, often caused by excessive sugar consumption or poor oral hygiene, can lead to an overgrowth of harmful bacteria. This not only contributes to tooth decay, but it can potentially also lead to inflammation that can impact various parts of the body.
It's interesting to think about how the impact of fluoride goes beyond just dental health. And it really raises concerns about its potential effects on cognitive development, especially during, fetal development. Emerging research suggests a possible link between high fluoride exposure during pregnancy, particularly in the third trimester, and an increased risk of ADHD in offspring. It's definitely something that warrants further investigation, to fully understand the potential implications of fluoride exposure on neurodevelopmental outcomes. Looking back at the historical use of lead, I think, provides a valuable lesson in understanding the potential consequences of overlooking these environmental toxins. For decades, lead was widely used in various applications, despite the mounting evidence of its detrimental effects on human health, and especially on children's developing brains. The delayed recognition of lead's toxicity and the slow implementation of preventive measures serve as a stark reminder of the importance of carefully evaluating the potential risks of environmental exposures, even those initially perceived as beneficial. Speaking of history, The evolution of toothpaste offers a fascinating glimpse into the history of oral hygiene practices. You know, before the 20th century, regular toothbrushing wasn't even a common practice in America. Early toothpaste formulations were often homemade, utilizing ingredients like soap, chalk, or even charcoal. The commercial production of toothpaste really gained momentum in the late 19th century, with Colgate introducing the first toothpaste in a jar in 1870. Then Pepsodent came along and revolutionized the toothpaste industry by introducing sodium lauryl sulfate, or SLS, as a key ingredient. SLS creates that characteristic tinkling sensation that we associate with a clean mouth, and it really contributed to the widespread perception of its effectiveness. While SLS does effectively remove plaque and debris, it can also act as an irritant, causing dryness, irritation, or even canker sores in some individuals. This really highlights the importance of recognizing the potential drawbacks, even in widely accepted products, and considering individual sensitivities when choosing oral care products.
Right, and it's fascinating to see how the composition of our diet plays such a crucial role in shaping that oral microbiome and influencing the development of those cavities we were talking about earlier. Hard, fibrous foods, like apples, for example, they act as natural cleaning agents, helping to remove plaque buildup just through mechanical friction during chewing. On the other hand, the consumption of those softer processed foods lacking that abrasive quality contributes to increased plaque accumulation, creating a really favorable environment for those cavity-causing bacteria to thrive. This understanding emphasizes the significance of our dietary choices in maintaining oral health. Sugar-sweetened beverages, in particular, pose a significant threat to oral health. Consuming these beverages is essentially like bathing your teeth in sugar, providing a constant source of fuel for those acid-producing bacteria. The frequent intake of sugary drinks creates an environment that is just ripe for enamel erosion and cavity formation, highlighting that detrimental impact of excessive sugar consumption on oral health. Thinking about the oral microbiome, this complex ecosystem of bacteria that resides in our mouths, it exhibits remarkable similarities to, believe it or not, a sourdough starter. Both involve the fermentation of carbohydrates by bacteria, resulting in that production of lactic acid. This process contributes to that characteristic sour taste that we often experience in our mouths, particularly in the morning before brushing. The analogy of a sourdough starter provides, I think, a really relatable illustration of the dynamic microbial activity that's constantly taking place within our mouths, breaking down and transforming the foods that we consume. Maintaining a healthy balance within that oral microbiome is so essential for overall well-being. Regular brushing and flossing are crucial for removing food debris and disrupting the growth of those harmful bacteria. It helps to promote that harmonious microbial community. Additionally, limiting the intake of those sugary foods and drinks that we were talking about, that helps to starve the harmful bacteria, allowing the beneficial bacteria to really flourish. Creating an environment that supports a healthy oral microbiome contributes not only to oral health, but also to overall systemic health.
I think shifting our focus from treating symptoms to address the root causes, that offers a really promising path toward better health. Instead of solely relying on fluoride to combat cavities, prioritizing those dietary changes we talked about, incorporating fiber-rich foods and practicing, excellent oral hygiene, all of that provides a more holistic approach to preventing tooth decay and promoting overall well-being. Building a strong foundation for health involves nourishing our bodies with those nutrient-dense foods and cultivating a healthy oral microbiome. This approach really creates, a resilient internal environment that's capable of resisting disease and supporting long-term health. And I think that's what we're all striving for, right? The long-term costs associated with chronic diseases like obesity, diabetes, and heart disease, they're substantial, right? And these conditions often stem from those poor dietary choices that we were discussing. It places a significant burden on healthcare systems worldwide, and investing in preventative measures like promoting healthy eating habits from an early age. That offers a much more proactive approach to reducing the incidence of these chronic diseases and could lead to potential healthcare savings and improved population health.
Absolutely. And the connection between oral health and systemic health is multifaceted. It's becoming increasingly recognized in scientific research. Inflammation in the mouth, often caused by gum disease or poor oral hygiene, it can trigger inflammation throughout the body. And the systemic inflammation is linked to various chronic diseases, including heart disease, stroke, diabetes, and even Alzheimer's disease. The impact of oral inflammation on the cardiovascular system is particularly concerning. When inflammation occurs in the mouth, it can disrupt the smooth flow of blood through our blood vessels. potentially leading to damage and dysfunction in the cardiovascular system. And this disruption increases the risk of developing those serious cardiovascular conditions we talked about, highlighting the importance of addressing oral health as part of a comprehensive approach to cardiovascular health. Endocarditis, which is an infection of the heart valves, really exemplifies the potential severity of untreated oral health issues. This condition occurs when bacteria from the mouth enter the bloodstream, often through bleeding gums, and travel to the heart. Once attached to the heart valves, these bacteria can form what are called vegetations. They're clumps of bacteria and inflammatory cells that actually interfere with the proper functioning of the heart valves. And this disruption can lead to heart failure or stroke, emphasizing that critical connection between oral health and overall well-being.
It's amazing to consider how, the conversation surrounding fluoride goes beyond just its role in cavity prevention, right? It prompts a much broader discussion about our approach to health. This discussion encompasses the impact of environmental toxins and the importance of addressing those root causes of disease rather than simply focusing on symptom management. Understanding the complexities of fluoride really encourages, I think, a critical evaluation of our health practices and a shift toward preventative measures that prioritize that long-term well-being that we were discussing. The emerging field of oral microbiome research, too, holds immense potential for revolutionizing our understanding of health. Exploring those intricate connections between the oral microbiome and overall health could lead to innovative approaches to disease prevention and treatment. To delve deeper into these fascinating connections and stay informed about evidence-based health information, I encourage you to subscribe to yourhealthfacts.com.